Hello everyone! Before you scroll past this video, stop for a few seconds and ask yourself, when was the last time you felt that something was not right in your relationship? Not a major fight, not a clear breakup, but that quiet feeling that the woman you love was slowly becoming a stranger. She is still there. She still talks to you. She still goes through daily life as usual. But something has changed. Her eyes feel different. Her replies are colder. The closeness is fading. And every time you try to ask for clarity, the conversation somehow turns back on you. You are too sensitive. You overthink too much. You are controlling. You do not respect her personal space. If you have ever experienced that feeling, this video is for you. Not to plant suspicion, not to make you hate women, but to help you clearly recognize certain psychological signs that often appear when someone has started emotionally pulling away from a relationship but has not yet told the truth. In this video, I will talk about 4 statements that sound very reasonable, even harmless, but in some situations, they may be signs that she is gradually distancing herself from you emotionally. The most important thing is not the words themselves, but the contradiction between what she says and what she does. The first statement is, I just haven't been in the mood lately. This is a very common sentence in many relationships, and to be fair, it is not always a bad sign. Everyone gets tired sometimes. Work pressure, family stress, poor health, or emotional exhaustion can all affect a person's desire for closeness. In those moments, not wanting intimacy is completely normal. But the problem begins when the distance does not last just a few days, but continues for weeks, even months. She no longer wants to hold your hand. She no longer wants to hug you. She avoids even the smallest forms of affection. What makes it more noticeable is that outside the relationship, she still seems full of energy. She takes better care of her appearance, goes out more often, posts more confident photos, and seems happier around other people. But when she is with you, she becomes cold and tired. When her words say, I'm tired, but her actions show that she still has energy, just not for you. That is a signal you need to observe. True love may not always be passionate, but it still seeks closeness, safety, and connection. If that connection completely disappears, do not rush to argue. Observe. The question you need to ask is not, why is she no longer in the mood? The real question is, has she lost interest in everything? Or has she only lost interest in me? The second statement is, I want to focus on myself. At first, this sounds very positive. Everyone needs personal growth, healing, self-love, independence, and maturity. A woman who takes care of her emotional life is something worth respecting. But the difference is this. If she truly wants to grow within a healthy relationship, she will usually share that process with you. She may talk about what she is learning, the new boundaries she is discovering, emotions she has never fully understood before, and how the two of you can support each other better. Real growth often helps two people understand each other more deeply and become closer. On the other hand, if focusing on myself becomes a reason to remove you from every part of her life, you need to pay attention. She goes to workshops but does not want to share anything with you. She builds new relationships, but you are not allowed to know about them. She talks about freedom, healing, and growth, but every step of that growth pushes you further away. When you want to understand more, she says you are controlling. When you want to support her, she says you are holding her back. When you want to connect, she says you do not respect her personal journey. At that point, the issue is no longer personal growth. It may have become a process of separating herself from the relationship, so that later she can say, I have changed, I have outgrown you, we are no longer right for each other. So remember this question. Does her growth bring the two of you closer together, or does it always require you to disappear? The third statement is you are too controlling. This is the most dangerous statement psychologically because it can make you doubt your own feelings. You ask a very normal question. Where were you last night? Who is texting you so late? Why have you been hiding your phone lately? If those questions come from reasonable concern, then in a healthy relationship, the answer should usually be clear. A person who has nothing to hide usually does not need to become angry over a simple question. They can explain, reassure you, or at least talk calmly. But when someone is hiding something, even a normal question can be turned into an attack. Instead of answering, they strike back. Don't you trust me? You're obsessed. You're toxic. You're suffocating me. The problem is that after this happens many times, you begin to censor yourself. You stop asking questions. You are afraid of sounding petty. You are afraid of being called controlling. So you stay silent while the things that make you uncomfortable continue to happen. You need to understand the difference clearly. Controlling means wanting to control every action, every relationship, and every choice of the other person. But asking basic questions in a committed relationship is not controlling. It is a minimum need for transparency. If your question is reasonable, your tone is calm, but her reaction is always aggressive, then the problem may not be your question. The problem may be something she does not want you to discover. The fourth statement is, I want us to be honest with each other. It sounds beautiful, doesn't it? Everyone wants an honest relationship, but there is a very subtle kind of honesty, selective honesty. She wants you to tell her everything, your past, your fears, your old wounds, your mistakes, and your previous relationships. You open up because you believe this is intimacy. You believe the two of you are moving closer to the truth. But when you ask her about things related to her current behavior, everything changes. You ask about a new male coworker. You ask why she is often online late at night. You ask why she hides her phone screen. And suddenly, the answer is no longer honesty. It becomes avoidance. Why don't you trust me? I've already shared so much and it's still not enough for you? You're being controlling again. That is not transparency. That is information control. She knows a lot about you, while you only know what she allows you to know. She uses openness in certain topics to make you feel guilty for wanting clarity in more important areas. Real honesty must go both ways. It should not force one person to expose their entire soul, while the other person only offers a few harmless pieces of information. If honesty only appears when it benefits her, but disappears when it touches suspicious behavior, then it is no longer honesty. It is a strategy. So what should you do when you hear these statements? Do not rush to argue. Do not chase. Do not beg for answers. Because when you argue, you can easily be made to look insecure. When you chase, you lose your position. And when you try to prove everything with words, you may miss the most important thing, actions. The golden rule is this: do not listen to words in isolation. Observe the actions that come with them. When she says, I'm not in the mood, see whether she still seeks closeness in small ways or whether she has completely withdrawn. When she says, I want to focus on myself, see whether that journey brings the two of you closer or only creates more distance. When she says, you are too controlling, ask yourself whether your question was truly unreasonable or whether it was simply a normal need for transparency. When she says, I want us to be honest, see whether honesty flows both ways or whether you are the only one being emotionally examined. And finally, trust your intuition. Your intuition is not always perfectly right, but it often notices small changes before your logical mind can name them. A different tone of voice, avoiding eye contact, holding the phone a little tighter, a smile that no longer feels natural, intimacy that begins to feel forced. A healthy relationship will not make you feel like a detective. The right person will not punish you for wanting closeness. She will not make you question your sanity. She will not use beautiful words like freedom, growth, honesty, or boundaries to keep you in the dark. Thank you for watching. I'm Mia, a specialist from LoveWell. Goodbye, and I'll see you again.